Hello, Kelly Mahoney, CMO of Ulta.
Hello, thanks for having me
How
here.
fun is it that this is our third year at Sport Beach,
So great.
having a conversation about beauty? Is there anything more fun to talk about than the intersection of beauty and sport?
I mean, I don't think so.
Neither do I. All right, well, let's get right into it. You are in your second year now as CMO at Ulta Beauty, and we're so happy to have you back at Sport Beach. It's such an evolving role today. What is a responsibility that didn't have as much importance or even exist 3, 4, 5 years ago in the CMO role?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is definitely evolved. The modern CMO, I like to say, is my profile. I didn't take the standard route to become a chief marketing officer. I spent 10 years as a finance person that turned into a marketer, but always very much about data-led, performance-based marketing. And I think that's really why today I'm here as a chief marketing officer, is 'cause that's really the skill that we need to have more of in the marketing officer ranks. We need to be bold, and we need to be creative, and we need to be visionary, and we also need to be helping drive growth on behalf of the company. And that's what I do.
At the end of the day, that's what it's about. We know this. And in fact, you have built an absolute superpower in the organization with Ulta's loyalty program, the loyalty ecosystem. How has that been a competitive advantage for the company?
Yes. So when I started 11 years ago, been the CMO for now 18 months, but when I started 11 years ago, we had 17 million people in our Ulta Beauty Rewards program, and today we have 47 million people in our Ulta Beauty Rewards.
Unbelievable.
95% of all of our sales come from our members.
95% of sales come from members.
That's a stunner.
That is astounding.
Yes. So that means we have a lot of first-party data, and we've always had a lot of first-party data. We were early adopters on taking in all the data that we could, making sure that we had the data in a place where we could activate against it. And that's what's led us to power a lot of our growth over the last several years. And now with systems like Adobe, which we have a partnership with Adobe, I see they're here, we are able to activate on that data and curate personalized experiences for all ages, all life stages. And that's one of the things that make working at Ulta Beauty so exciting, is that we are for everyone.
Right.
But we are a brand that serves a meaningful purpose. Personalization really allows us to express our brand very uniquely to each individual so that we stand for something very meaningful in their lives.
Oh, 100%. It also gives you a lot of superpower with your brand partners, right? I know they're very important to you.
Yes.
In the way that you're activating that data on their behalf.
Yes. I mean, we are brand builders at the end of the day, and we work very closely with brands that are new, that are emerging, and that are established. And our data allows us to work with them and help them figure out their path to grow. And it's been amazing. We launched UB Media. Mm-hmm. That's our retail media network. And that's really based on our ability to leverage this data so we can find members in our program. We can introduce brands to our members, but we can also help established core brands grow by finding new people in our ecosystem and putting the right messages in front of them, and we've been very, very successful.
That's an amazing example of that superpower. Speaking of superpowers, Supergirl.
Supergirl.
Could we be more excited for Supergirl, folks? I mean, I don't think I could.
I couldn't.
Premiering this week.
Yes, June 26th in theaters. Go check it out.
Already live on ultabeauty.com, ulta.com.
Yes, we're live on air with our ad. We were approached about a year ago on this opportunity, and when you think about Supergirl as a character, I always like to say she's perfectly imperfect in all the right ways. And
love it.
I love that for us. I love that for Ulta Beauty. I mean, we celebrate the superpowers of beauty. That's what we always say. We're about self-expression, empowerment, connection, self-care. You can come to Ulta Beauty and feel welcome and inclusive no matter who you are, like I said earlier, no matter what age, life stage. And I feel like she is that embodiment of our brand. I mean, she's also a rebel badass. Can I say that?
You can say that.
She's
You
a
heard it
rebel
here.
badass.
She's a badass.
She's a badass.
We're talking about Millie Alcock, too, the actress.
She's amazing. Yes. And that's an important part of this partnership, too. We didn't just want to enter into a partnership where we just slap our logo on something. This was very much tied to who we are as a company, and we partnered directly with Millie Alcock to star in our ad, to do social content for us. And we have the slogan, which is rock your look, find your power, just to really help people realize this is the summer of self-expression, and Ulta Beauty's here for it all the way.
It's such an amazing 360 immersive partnership. It's really been fun to follow along. Speaking of real deep partnerships, the Ulta Beauty roster, your relationships with 5 athletes that are doing very important work of helping girls stay in the game.
Yes.
We are going to be having a conversation shortly with Midge Purse, who I know is a partner of yours and part of the Ulta Beauty roster. Why do you think it's so important today that we are helping connect with athletes as more than just athletes, as advocates, as entrepreneurs, as cultural leaders?
Yeah, I mean, it was so important for me when I stepped into this role that we build out our sports platform. 'Cause as you just sort of back it up a little bit and you think about our brand, the way things are working is you really have to show up in people's lives in order for people to remember you, for this to be really meaningful. And we do that in a lot of different ways, but sports was a way I didn't feel like we were really active in. So it was kind of my mission to make sure that we showed up in this very, very important space where beauty and wellness collide, because beauty and wellness are very, very integral. They're starting to almost become one.
Especially for these younger generations.
Especially for these younger generations, which we found out. So it was important to me that we come at it, but I wanted it to be authentic to what Ulta Beauty stands for. And there is a stat out there that nearly twice the amount of young girls drop out of sports versus boys. And that was my muse. That was the muse that I really wanted. How do we play such an important role in the lives of these young women? Because sports can allow you to have confidence and build your skills of teamwork and collaboration. I know there's a stat that most executive women have sports somehow in their lives, some way, shape, or form. And so it was just really important for us that we show up that way. The roster was born out of this idea of athletes are influencers in and of themselves. They're living this real life experience. And so how do we create an opportunity for their voices to help our guests understand all sorts of things, perseverance, resilience, practical things like how do I take care of my skin when maybe I'm playing a sport that requires me to be in the water or in the sun all day long. And so it's just been a really great experience, and there's so much more to come. With
so much more for you to tap into there. I mean, they are the personification of staying in the game. It's an incredible roster, and we can't wait to see what you do with it. Speaking of the younger generations, you did some absolutely fascinating research that I've been completely geeking out on Gen Alpha and how their relationship with AI is not necessarily interfering with the in-store experience, the importance of the in-store experience. What's the most surprising information that you found in this great work?
Well, first of all, everyone should be learning about the next generation. Ulta Beauty has a very important role to play in establishing the next generation's relationship with beauty and now wellness as well. So that was the impetus for doing this, really learning everything there is to know about what motivates them and how do they like to shop for beauty and wellness, and how could we create the future for them that ultimately leads them to a very healthy, responsible relationship with beauty and with wellness. But what surprised me is a couple of things. I think, number one, young boys are almost equally as engaged in this category as young women.
Let's hear it for the boys.
Yes, they just come at it very differently, but they're equally engaged
Amazing.
And as passionate, which is great. And I think the other
big
one,
unlock.
It's a big unlock. And equally, the creators and influencers in these young people's lives are very important, but what was really, really fun to see was the parents' recommendation and the parents' voice was really important. So that gives me hope.
You read my mind. It gives us
me
hope
hope,
as
yes.
parents that they do actually occasionally listen to us.
That's right. That's right. But what's also great is that it's sort of bilateral. So the parents are providing recommendations equally, though I think the parents are learning from the kids.
And being inspired by them every
Yes.
day. I mean, this could be the generation that saves the world.
I hope so.
Let's hope so,
Yes.
right? It's been such a pleasure chatting with you today, as always. You're going to crush it on that panel.
Thank you.
Can't wait. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Samara from Hunter.
Kelly
Mahoney.
Mahoney, Chief Marketing Officer at Ulta Beauty.